Missed out on breakfast? Fret not. It's never too late to grab a bite.
Breakfast Bites today presents Is It Okay or Ever Okay to Touch a Stranger? Now, this is off the back of a rather tense exchange on the red carpet last week at the Cannes Film Festival. I don't know if you've had a chance to watch this. I have. A photographer grabbed the actor Denzel Washington's arm. First time he did it was a kind of a light tug, requesting for another photo. Mr. Washington then scolded him, I believe. And then the second time he did it again, and Mr. Washington yanked his arm back and then repeatedly warned the photographer to stop. And this has raised the question amongst socials and others and journalists alike of whether it's okay to touch someone you don't know. So before I delve further, have you guys ever been touched? Have you touched strangers? And why or why not?
I can't say that I can recall being uncomfortably touched by a stranger. I am a big fan of handshakes, and usually, you put it out, and if someone takes your hand, that's great.
Yeah, get into that.
Yeah, but other than that, not really, except for an emergency. Like, guys, if you see me choking on the street, please help me with the Heimlich, But besides that, I think it's better to keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah, I can imagine why some folks might be uncomfortable. So if I had to, for example, touch someone, like they drop a wallet and they're turning around. So from the back, maybe I'll touch their elbow or maybe their shoulder, like the less intrusive zones.
Yeah, I can't see you guys being too intrusive anyway. But according to etiquette experts, when it comes to spontaneous touching, it's quite nuanced. So social rules vary from place to place and culture to culture, but still the manners experts that were asked were unanimous about the hard and fast rule about touching strangers is that you absolutely shouldn't. So some scenarios were run by these experts. What if you're trying to flag down a server in a restaurant? Nope. Placing a hand on someone as you are trying to move through a crowd? Nope. You should weave through instead. Others allowed for exceptions. So if, say, someone drops a wallet, to Ryan's point, without noticing and doesn't hear your calls, you could use touch briefly, but don't grab or clasp the person. Keep your hands to yourself, another expert says. Do not touch people without their permission unless you are trying to save them from something.
Yeah.
Norms around greetings are a bit more complicated, but in general, you can't go wrong with a handshake, which is what Audrey likes, a classic for a reason. Extending your hand also gives people options like a brief clasp or a fist bump, which I've noticed as well since COVID. Some people call themselves huggers. I'm not naming and shaming, but here you go, Audrey Siek. If you're a hugger, great stuff, but you ask, you say, I love giving hugs. Are you okay with that?
I mean, I'm not going to go hug a stranger or someone I just met,
sure.
right? Yeah.
But sometimes, people like the good old... the hug, even to a stranger.
Okay.
How about pat on the back? Like, well done.
Yeah, I suppose that's okay. Like to a colleague or a stranger?
To a colleague, like, hey, good job, Emaad. Good show.
That's fine. That's fine, because we're not strangers, right?
Strangers.
So do try your best to tune into cultural differences. So for instance, in some places in the world, a cheek kiss is customary.
Yeah.
Other cultural norms can be trickier to parse. One particular British man noted that while the US and Britain seem to have similar social codes, the Brits tend to cherish personal space, while Americans can be a bit more relaxed and tactile.
I do wonder as well, if it's uniform across the country, like in the countryside and in the city side, do you have different personal zones?
Good point. I think in the countryside, people are a lot more family-oriented and feel like, I can give someone a hug without feeling unnerved by it or whatever, or without them feeling unnerved by it. If your inclination is to write off brief moments of physical contact as no big deal, consider that you never know if the person you're touching has dealt with physical trauma.
Yeah.
So one expert noted that dynamics related to race and gender could also come into play. For instance, one expert says for many centuries, people have been thought of as property and could be touched or hurt without consequence, adding that being grabbed by a stranger might mean something specific and rooted in violence and oppression to a black man from America or to a woman.
That's very true. And now that you mention it, I do think that it makes me feel different whether it is a female stranger touching me versus a male stranger. So I think that the gender dynamics really play a big role here as well.
Yeah, great point.
I guess the context matters as well. So I remember back in Japan, right? The train was just packed. And I was touched everywhere in some sense.
I think that's an extenuating circumstance where you can't really. I mean, that happens to me in Singapore sometimes as well. Where I really try and move my hands inward to avoid touching people. If you're still unconvinced that any of this matters, try a visualization exercise. So imagine you're in a park, sitting with your eyes closed and enjoying a nice, warm, sunny day. Suddenly you feel someone touching you on the arm. You open your eyes and see a stranger. In that moment, many of us will feel this primal and visceral jolt of unease and discomfort.
What are you doing?
Yeah, so consider that whenever you touch strangers, even if it feels entirely harmless on your end, you may be putting them in a similar situation.